Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sundays, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And it's Monday on the show. You know what that means? Well, that means I'm going to tell you what it's going to mean for the next several weeks, in fact. And that is that at least for the next 3 Mondays, it's looking like, there will be no standalone Filthy Tom Lawlor show for a lot of different reasons, mostly involving traveling and such. But today, we will be joined by Mike and Tom. Next Monday, we will be joined by Mike and Tom. And the week after, I think it will be just Mike and Tom, because I'll be traveling back from WrestleMania. So that's the plan. And Tom's got a lot to talk about here today, as I'm sure does Semper Vivi, and myself as well, because a lot to get into. We got Raw, which actually is taking place right now. It is live in London, and I guess if you want to watch that instead of this show, you can, but I'll just give you a preview so you don't have to bother. It's going to be 1 minute of action, 4 minutes of commercials, 2 minutes of action, and then a bad finish, if SmackDown is any indication. And you can watch that later on tonight on delay. So why watch it now? Listen to this show. And we'll tell you all about all of the rest as well. NXT tomorrow, Dynamite on Wednesday. A lot of news, including John Cena's heel turn. We've got an NXT versus Stardom match at Bloodsport, and a lineup of other matches as well. We have Collision live on Thursday, WrestleMania week, and where that may go in the future, and plenty more. If you want to text us here today, 425-780-7566. That is 425-780-7566. F4W Online at gmail.com. F4W Online Threads, Instagram, and Cameo. Yes, Cameos, everybody. Grab one. A great April Fool's prank is a cameo from me, let me tell you. At Bryan Alvarez X and Blue Sky. Back in a moment. Observer Live. Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Mike Sempervive, also of WrestlingObserver.com. Filthy Tom Lawlor is joining us here today. And Filthy, are you excited for this blood sport?
I am.
Pete Dunne and Timothy Thatcher, Charlie Dempsey and Shinya Aoki, Carmen Petrovic and Micah NXT versus Stardom. Good God.
That one's for Mike.
No, I mean, it's still.
It is.
Yeah.
Micah Sempervive actually has a nice ring to it.
Yeah.
But
It does.
I will also be there at Bloodsport, Brian. I am pumped to watch everybody that has been announced.
Are you doing
so far on
commentary,
that.
or is there something more you haven't told us yet?
I didn't say anything about anything.
Yeah, you just told everybody, dude. Anyway.
I was announced like a month ago.
Oh, well, who are you
for
wrestling?
the show. I
Who
don't
are you
know.
fighting? So you just know you're there?
Yeah.
All right. Looks like it's you and me, brother.
Yeah, right.
Ooh,
Wow.
damn. That's why, you know
I'm
what?
busy that weekend.
That's why you went to Portland to go see Pedro Sauer. It wasn't about he happened to be in town. You're doing some rogue training.
Brother, you think that extra stripe's going to do any good? Let's be honest
It's
here.
filthy? No.
Okay.
Brian, you know what? You're going to be here in a few weeks. I cordially invite you to the gym and we can train. We can have a friendly training session, not a sparring
Wang
session.
down?
Yeah, you should.
A training
actually.
session, but not a sparring session.
Yeah,
I
6
don't even
a.m.
want to know what that means.
6 a.m., 10th Planet, Las Vegas.
6
on
a.m.
Friday.
God. Kidding me.
Is that Easter?
I'll be lucky if I'm asleep by 6 a.m. every night.
I mean, it's a good point.
All right. Well, we got other stuff we got to talk about. What is this thing you did this weekend?
Well,
What did you do?
I was hoping you were asking him that.
he is asking me. On Saturday, I drove 3 hours up into the mountains from Las Vegas, and I was the pit crew for one of my best friends in a backyard ultra marathon, which I don't know if anybody's ever heard of one of these kinds of races. I
That's
certainly
a
had
big
never
backyard.
heard of it. I certainly had never heard of it before. However,
24 hours
I can
of
tell
Daytona?
I'll tell you what the rules are. What is a backyard ultra? Participants will run a 4.1667 mile loop every hour until only one person is left standing. You have 1 hour to finish once it is started. If you finish a loop within the hour, you may start the next hour's loop, provided you are in the corral when the next hour starts.
So hold on. 4 mile loop in an hour. So we're talking like
Yep.
a 15-minute mile,
Yeah,
and you just keep going over and over and over until like everyone's dead except for one guy.
correct.
How
So you
many
have
people did die?
0. The race started with 31 people. And my friend, who I was there cornering in the pit crew, went for 22 hours.
Has he had an EKG since?
Started at 8 a.m. We had about 20 beers, if that counts. We started at 8 a.m. He ended running at, I guess it would have been 5 a.m. He called it quits, and 22 hours in, he took third place. The gentleman who won it, 24 hours of running, his final loop, 33 minutes.
4 miles in 33 minutes after 22 hours?
His 100th mile.
Wow.
Yes. My friend led every lap until the 20th lap.
Wow.
Every single time. So quite an emotional and draining weekend for me. But, hey.
You realize that the
Life's
original
tough.
story of the marathon is largely a myth. But even the mythical version, the story is that this bloke ran a marathon and promptly died. So we celebrate this by, what? I don't even understand.
My wife is currently training for a marathon.
Oh.
The Denver
okay.
Marathon. So
Interesting. Well, hopefully she doesn't die. All right.
Thanks, Brian.
Oh, that's what it's about.
Now, Tom,
Fidippides.
What does she do?
Ran and ran and ran and ran and ran and ran and ran. Exclaimed, "We have won," and then he died.
So filthy.
what a better way to go out.
Yeah, well, I guess.
No, I could think of countless better ways to go out. God.
Back then,
Yeah. Going to sleep and not waking up is a better way to go out than running a marathon in the heat for a victory announcement to then die.
I guess wearing a loincloth and having women fan me down and feed me grapes and pour olive oil on me would have been a better way to go.
Sure, exactly.
I guess that's another
What were you saying, Mike?
from back then.
I don't recall. Oh, wait. Okay, Tom, your better half there. You're in Las Vegas. She's training for Denver. Is there anything she can do to try to match elevations? What does one do to get ready for a marathon in such a high elevation?
You just run a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
There's no magic here, brother.
You know what, Tom? I hope she survives.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. All right, what's the latest here? Janelle Grant's legal team has asked the court to let discovery and deposition start in her lawsuits against WWE, Vince, and John Laurinaitis. All three defendants trying to delay that until the judge rules on if the case can go forward, if it has to go to arbitration. So that's the latest. My question is, what's taking this judge so long? I mean, is it going to arbitration or not? What's happening here? It's been months and months and months we've been waiting, and there's no update. So, again, we just wait. Not sure what else there is to add other than that. Paul Levesque did a interview with Male Sport at WWE's European tryouts. He says that he approached John Cena about turning heel at a WrestleMania. And no, it was a conversation, he said. It's conversation. When it was brought up, everybody, I think in John's mind, he was like, wow, I didn't think you were going to say that, but I love it. It's a challenge to him. John is not a complacent person. So, as we talked about yesterday on Observer Radio, if you guys have been watching, you may be watching Raw right now, in fact. I think John Cena's out there. I hear he's mad. But the John Cena heel turn was apparently going to take place at WrestleMania. And, old Dwayne, as Dave likes to call him, The Rock, showed up. And they decided, well, let's do it at Elimination Chamber. Let's move this thing up. So if you've been watching the show, and it's just like the same thing every week, John just being a heel, well, part of that is because he wasn't supposed to be a heel right now. And this tells me a number of things, including that John Cena is winning the title at WrestleMania from Cody, because John Cena originally turning heel at WrestleMania, there's no point in him turning heel but losing the match to John Cena. I presume he was going to turn heel and win, and then John Cena as a heel was going to be your story throughout the summer, with Cody chasing to try to get it back. But they've moved it up a little bit, and the funny thing is, they moved it up a little bit, and guess who made the call yet is nowhere to be seen? Old Dwayne.
The Rock Kerr came in and laid smashing machine to those plans.
Yep, Rock Kerr smashed the plans, changed everything, and then disappeared. So now they're just dealing with it. So what can you do? But that's the story there. What an irony.
He just wants to be new Vince, and I don't mean in all the creepy ways. I mean in the aspect of he really wants to run that company, and this is as close as he can get right now with having his childhood friend be the one to do it. But for him to come in, and if that's the case, I mean, why? So we go ahead and have all of this time of John Cena just standing there, and we have a bunch of just face-offs and people singing and all that stuff. I mean, I don't know. It just seems to be now, every time we get around WrestleMania season, Dwayne is getting himself involved, and it doesn't seem to be to everyone's benefit, or at least having everyone be happy about him being there, because nobody ever really seems to be on the same page with the stories coming out of this, the least of which would be Cody Rhodes.
Hey, listen, I'll say this about old Vince. He was an idiot. He sucked at his job, but he was there every week. So if he threw you under the bus, at least he was there. You could try to talk to him if you wanted to. Rock made all the changes and then just disappeared. To the point they don't even mention him. It's not just that he's not there. It's like that aspect never happened. Unless they mention him. Did they mention The Rock? I'll ask the chat here since some people are watching it. Was The Rock mentioned in this John Cena promo here tonight? I'll let y'all know after the break. Stick around. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Okay, can everyone hear it?
Yeah.
There's a mystery bell at Granny's house. She can't hear it. Take off your headphones for a second.
I had them on wrong anyway.
Okay.
I can't get them on right. What?
Take them off and listen.
You have in your elbow?
Is the fan on a computer?
Nothing.
All right. Well, this is going to be an exciting show.
Gonna have bells ringing through the whole thing, and it's every week. It's got to be me.
Do you have a neighbor that's an ice cream man
No,
practicing out there?
I got a neighbor that smokes marijuana.
I'm sure you do. I guess
Whatever that noise is, I mean, it's still going.
Yeah, it's not going to stop, dude.
Brian, do you want me to get off here and go see if open the door and see if there's anything out there?
You think something's out the front door?
Is he been ringing the bell the entire time?
No, Granny, you don't
Let
need
me
to-
in! Let me
it's
in!
Fine, it's fine.
If it's death, don't open the door.
Thank you, Craig. This person thinks it's a stove timer.
Have you burned the roast?
No, I don't have a stove. You want me to just get off here?
No. We're going to barrel through it.
I'd love it.
You're not even doing anything. Granny, Nick says that you've got an old-fashioned analog alarm clock in Terry's bedroom.
I don't know. I got a new alarm clock, battery operated. Is that what she meant?
Well, whatever it is, it's going haywire right now.
Oh, it might be my alarm,
Do you think?
but it's way back in the bedroom.
Don't worry about it right now. But when the show's over, you might want to go...
That's what it is.
Okay.
Solve the mystery.
Is there a reason you didn't turn it off when it started ringing?
Well, I wasn't in there. I didn't.
Duh.
I took a nap. I took a nap and set the alarm. I thought I shut it off, but I probably didn't.
No.
You probably didn't.
That's life.
I would say with a good deal of certainty that you didn't turn it off.
Brian, that's life around here.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I do the show with Dave, too.
Say,
Hear all sorts of things in the background.
did I do that? You know,
Yeah, you did do that.
or I thought I did that, but I didn't.
In there.
I wake up and I see lights on, and I say, I didn't turn those lights on. What's going on?
Maybe the place is haunted.
Could be.
Okay.
It's my brain that's haunted.
Well, I hope not. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. All right, so according to the chat, this segment with Cena and Cody has actually been really good. Great, Funk Monk says. And
But has there been a Travis Scott mention?
Cody apparently did mention The Rock and how Cena had betrayed him. And everyone has concluded after watching this segment that that Cena is definitely winning. So I guess we'll review this tomorrow.
I mean, to be fair, all John Cena's got to do is come out and say, look, we've had a dysfunctional relationship, you and me, the fans, and now look what's happened. Because of you, my hair's fallen out, and my future movie prospects are down the drain.
Didn't he get his hair fixed? We haven't seen him without his hat for a while, but there was like a picture online at some movie set or something like that where... Although I guess
Maybe it grew back.
If he was on a movie set, that could be
they might have done
worked
something.
hair.
It could be gimmicked hair. I mean, any fake hair is gimmicked hair, right? But it might
think
be.
so.
It might be. What's the difference between permanent? What's the opposite of permanent?
Temporary.
Temporary gimmicked hair, as
Got
opposed to
spray
permanent
on hair from back in the day.
gimmicked hair. Yeah.
Ron Popeil.
Yeah, you know what I love is that spray-on hair. From that day that I did that Vince McMahon, back before all this went down, and I painted on that pencil mustache and sprayed all that stuff in my hair. That was a big mistake, brother. I had to shave my head. Some of you don't remember that. I had to shave my head bald to get that stuff out of my hair. I washed my hair, no joke, a dozen times. I couldn't even begin to get that stuff out. I just had to buzz it.
Are you sure it wasn't Krylon spray paint? It was like you grabbed the wrong thing?
That sucked. It's supposed to be like, I guess, a root cover-up, but I just sprayed my whole head with it. That was a bad idea. All right,
Did you
anyway.
have that just sitting around the house?
No, I went and bought it.
Oh.
If I were using it regularly, you think I would have poured it all over my head?
People have said a lot of things about your different hairstyles and shades over the years.
People have
so
said a lot of things
do.
about all sorts of things. Let's talk about this Collision airing live April 17th. This is on the week of WrestleMania. AEW Spring Breakthrough. It'll be live at 8 Eastern. So instead of taping the show and airing it Saturday, they decided maybe it would be a bad idea for Collision to go head-to-head with WrestleMania. So they're going to air it live instead. And according to Dave, this is all being monitored. And with WBD losing the NBA, he talked about the possibility of Collision moving to Thursday nights. Which, oh my God. No.
That's really going to screw up your TNA and Honor Club viewing.
I so look forward to Thursday nights because I do the Bryan Vinny show and I got nothing to do for like 4 hours for once in my life. You tell me I'm going to add Collision on Thursday? Because I'd have to watch it because we'd have to do this show and talk about it on Friday. So we would have 2.5 hours of Raw Monday, 2 hours of NXT on Tuesday, 2 hours of Dynamite on Wednesday, 2 hours of Collision and TNA if you're watching that on Thursday. Hopefully by June, 2 hours of SmackDown on Friday. And then there's like a PLE every other weekend. There's an AEW or a WWE pay-per-view / PLE. That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff.
UFC, brother.
Yeah, your UFCs you watch? Good Lord. I mean, whatever. The other weird thing is like, forget my own personal not wanting to watch wrestling literally every single weeknight. But if you're a fan of AEW, I mean, I don't know. It feels like it's better to have a few days in between. You know what I'm saying? Like you watch one show Monday for Raw, and then you watch SmackDown on Friday. Or you watch Dynamite on Wednesday, and then Collision on Saturday. I mean, there was a time where it was Raw and SmackDown back-to-back Monday and Tuesday, and even that was kind of weird, but at least they had a split brand, so it wasn't like you'd be watching the same guys wrestling on Monday and then another show with the same guys on Tuesday. They kind of do different rosters, sort of, with Collision.
But they shouldn't. They shouldn't. And in a way, maybe this could be better because what we've already proven is people on Saturdays or Fridays will eventually tune out. Not to say that they haven't tuned back into Collision sometimes, but look at where the number is right now. Why not Wednesday and Thursday? People are going to skip a second show if they're not trying to watch anything more than one show a week anyway from one brand. So go ahead and do that. Maybe things can you can actually tie things together. You can use the same people and do it that way.
I think that's a horrible idea.
But Brian, they don't have enough people. It'll go back
they
to
have 200.
They don't
people.
have. They have. Guess what? How many are over enough to do a show?
Yeah, because they don't split the rosters.
But you just said they basically have been kind of split. Ever since CM Punk left, who has been the Saturday person? Who has been that person where it's like, I got to tune in because they're on there? They don't have enough people. In theory, they have enough people. They don't have enough people that are over where that
I know, but
matter.
It's also Saturday is Saturday. Like, if you actually have a Wednesday and a Thursday primetime 8 to 10 slot, then yes, Thursday can be Ospreay's show. And Wednesday can be Moxley's show. And Thursday can be Jericho's show.
They need to get people to watch AEW, and I get what you're saying, but
and
they need
split
them to
the
watch.
rosters up.
They don't need to do that. They don't have enough play. They can't do it with one. How are you going to do it with two? It would be great if it was a different world that they were in and had enough people to be over and all that sort of stuff. but they don't.
Bro,
So
they
I
haven't
have a feeling-
tried a real split. And look where we are. It's like it's slowly down. Like we could try. We
They've
could
tried-
try to make stars on one show and stars on the other show, both in prime time, both on a weeknight, and like
with
we have
two different,
Wednesdays.
completely different storylines going on both.
Yes.
To me, you can take Wednesday, try it where bring things over to Thursday, get those shows, get people over, get storylines over, get some credibility behind more people, then do a split. That's what I would say.
I just think the idea of the same exact people back to back for 4 hours on Wednesday, I think it's a terrible idea. It may never happen.
I got a question, Brian.
Yes.
Do we have any clue, any idea what this mystery show that USA is waiting to premiere after SmackDown is?
Oh, God, I don't know. Maybe it's
Do we
Below
have
Deck
any
Mediterranean.
answer?
Brother, I don't care. It can be a cooking show. It can be a backyard marathon. Well, I don't care.
You
Put
don't want to watch
anything
that.
on Friday at 10 o'clock, but not a third hour of SmackDown. God, this show sucks.
It is
BKFC
very
ice
long.
fights. How about that?
And it was particularly brutal this week because also they were in the UK. And you want to know what happened?
What?
I'll tell you what happened. So when they first started this tour, I think they knew that everybody was going to sing and all that kind of craziness, but I don't think that they knew it was going to be to the degree that they did. And so they booked a show for 3 hours, but every segment ended up getting hijacked by these fans. And so the timing of the show got all weird. And so they quickly figured out, well, you know what? Let's plan time in all these segments for people to do their singing. So then we got this show Friday, which was frickin' brutal, which was we're going to have 9-hour entrances. And then, we're not going to give anyone anything to say because we're going to presume they're going to sing the whole time. And then for the matches we have, it's well, we got to have commercials somewhere, so we'll do a minute of action, 4 frickin' minutes during the break, and 2 minutes when we come back for a finish. This was the worst show. And then, people are like, oh, I knew they'd see how terrible it was for the fans. No, it's not terrible for the fans to sing. It's actually really cool when you go to another country and the fans are going wild and singing, but you're in charge of the show, not the fans. If they want to sing during their entrances, fine. But once the mic starts, once the talking starts, start talking. If you got to turn down the crowd a little bit, turn down the crowd a little bit. But, get the show going. God, that was brutal. They want to chant during the match. It's great. That's fine. But you don't have to stall out the show to give them time to do their singing. You're in charge. You run the show. God, the show sucked. Shaking with anger. How much it sucked. It was brutal. Am I wrong, Tom? Look at you. You're the SmackDown, whatever.
No, that was Vinny.
No, it's
Whatever
not
happened to
me.
that?
We do it here and there.
Oh, yeah, well. I'm the assistant to the head lead SmackDown writer for the site, whatever his name is.
I got
Hi.
another question for you. Are you ready for this?
Give it to my boss if it's about SmackDown.
Where is this guy? What's his name? Who's the new SmackDown ring announcer?
Mike.
No, it's not Mike.
Mike
I
Rush.
can do it, though.
No, Mike Rome is the actual guy at NXT.
I said Mike Rush.
Who's the new guy that they're claiming
The
isn't
Raiders guy.
Mark Nash.
Mark Nash? Okay,
Yes.
no way, brother. There's this is like an April Fool's joke. That's Mike Rome on Friday.
No, it's
You
Mark Nash.
cannot convince me otherwise. Until I see those two guys in the same place at the same time, it's the same guy. I'm going to send you guys pictures. Back in a moment of Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Warner Brothers Discovery announcement came out, and the gist of it is Dynamite and Collision are going to remain on Wednesday and Saturday. Rampage appears to be history, which we had thought. Dynamite and Collision is streamed live on Max if you're a U.S. subscriber.
$555 million over 3 years, $185 million a year. Average $185 million a year. It starts lower. The middle year would probably be about that, and the third year would be up from that, and then the fourth year would be way up.
Big question for me is, are all the archives up? Or going to be up? Can I go back 5 years ago and watch all of the Dynamites in order?
I believe that they will be. Yeah, this won't be till January. I don't know that as a fact, but they're putting archival programming on, so there will be, I don't know if everything will be up, but there will be, I mean, I expect that everything will be up, yeah. I had a little announcement I wanted to make. A lot of people got really exposed, when this.
Oh no, yeah, save that for the Garrett show.
I mean,
save that one.
Why? You don't want any heat from these people who
no, but I've heard it multiple times.
I've been sitting here playing punching bag for these clowns for years, and I mean, this was great. This was quite the week of vindication between that Vince McMahon documentary and this deal. Yes, for me. There's an even bigger vindication for Tony Khan. Not that, it's even though they're completely different topics. The guy who spent 5 years with all these clowns calling him a money mark, and they went through a couple of years in money losses, which a lot of businesses do. And they could afford it, but the long-term goal was always to make this thing profitable. So at the end of the day, here we are, and with this deal, this is going to be the second most profitable pro wrestling company in the history of pro wrestling, and all of these people that and it's like, I'm not saying you should have figured that much out, but in the last year, it kind of was leaning this way. And even if it wasn't going to be the second most profitable company in the history of pro wrestling, it would end up being profitable, which once you're profitable, the term money mark goes out the window. So anyway, this is like complete vindication. Jericho actually went on the show. I mean, it was almost like he was reading my mind with that line about, boy, did all these experts come off as being really stupid and out of touch. I don't know if he used those words, but they were. Because it's not like this came out of nowhere. We've been talking about this for months. I've been telling people. I've been telling them. I go you better frickin' pivot, because you're going to look like fools if this deal comes in the way it looks it's going to come in. And none of them could stop. They're so deep into it. They've been lying to their podcast listeners for God knows how long. So anyway, there's a lot more to that. But anyway, I did want to get that off my chest.
Mark Nash and Mike Rome are the same guy. They look the same. They dress the same. They have the exact same hairdo. And if you watch the show, they sound exactly the same. Exactly. So I don't want to hear any arguments. That's just what it is. It's pretty weird that they're doing that, too. They get like a little beard that they kind of put on him for Tuesdays, and then they take it off for Fridays. Weird. You guys don't find that weird? No? Okay.
I don't know. I'll have to wait till after dark.
Yeah, you had a lot to say during the break, and now you
pipe
down.
You know what? Yeah, they don't look alike very much at all, Brian. You want me to eschew what I said during the break? You want me to use the same comments I did?
Oh, because I'm Hispanic, I can't tell two white guys apart?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
A spicy Latina over here.
You want to know what's funny about ethnicity?
You're half a Latina?
So I finally signed up for this thing.
There's not
so
a lot of things, Brian.
I could check out Paisley's report cards and her test scores and everything like that.
Helicopter dad here?
And then it's got I hadn't done it. She's in third grade. I just signed up for it. I haven't done it for 4 years, which I probably should have done after looking at it. But anyway, the point is, it's got all of her information or whatever. And I'm looking through it. And for ethnicity, okay? Paisley. You've all seen Paisley. Not Hanalei, who's, she's a little bit darker. Paisley, okay? Her ethnicity is listed as Black or African American. I was like, what? For 4 years, she has been listed as Black or African American.
Trying to game the system, is she?
I don't know, man. And then, like yesterday at breakfast, I was like, Paige, I saw something sort of funny on your Parent View thing, and she goes, "What's that?" And I said, "Your ethnicity is listed as Black or African American." She goes, "I know. I've been telling them for years." So anyway, no one's done anything about it. So
I'm surprised your whole family has not just turned into, we want to be Pacific Islanders. In fact, we want to be Native Hawaiians. We're going to put that
Well,
on
I
everything.
do, but you can't just do it. All right. Should we talk about these shows? Tom, what did you think of SmackDown? What were the highlights? Were there any? I feel like there was one.
It ended.
What was the highlight on this show? I think there was something good. The pre-taped Naomi promo.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah,
very
she's
good,
awesome.
Actually.
Caution tape.
Yes. The only problem is, she made way too much sense. She's clearly the baby face in this feud.
You could certainly look at it that way.
Much like I find Seth Rollins to be the baby face in that.
Let's not take it that
feud.
far now. Come on.
No.
He's just a spiteful little man.
Yeah,
At least he made sense.
I thought that Naomi promo was incredible. I think this is the best she's ever been in her whole entire career, and I don't think anything's close. And I also thought that the addition of the whole... They're really building the main event, the Roman Punk Seth deal. They're really building it around what is the favor that Paul Heyman owes CM Punk. I said they needed to do this. They did it. And now it feels like more than just three randos in a random match because there's nothing else for them to do at Mania. Now it feels like we got something here. Punk is getting his main event, which makes Seth exceedingly angry because he doesn't deserve it. And then Paul Heyman still owes Punk a favor, and Roman doesn't know what it is. This, I think, is great. So I'm glad they're now focusing on that because last week's segment sucked. This one was good.
What do you think the favor is going to be? Obviously you just turn on him and help Punk
I think that's
win,
the favor.
but-
You're my new wise man.
That's it.
Yeah.
Seems.
There'll be a way.
straightforward.
They'll make it something, but I think he's turning heel. Paul is going with him. Roman's getting screwed. And away we go. That's what I think happened.
At least Seth has something that he can hang his hat on because he is, to me, he's a whiny little bee in all of this, of the fact that his whole goal is to spite CM Punk. And damn it, Roman, you helped him happen, and I'm jumping up and down, stamping my feet. But if there is a conspiracy in his mind between Paul and CM Punk and Roman, he's on the outside of all of that. So he does actually have a little bit of credibility to any argument he makes moving forward here. More than just, I want to stop Punk from being the main event, because it's the bigger than my kids or my wife or anything, the greatest thing that can happen to him.
Not
now.
just that, they have done such a good job with this CM Punk Seth Rollins feud. They have done such a great job at trying to convince you that they actually hate each other that Seth Rollins hates this man so much that he will accept not being in the WrestleMania main event as long as Punk isn't in the main event. He's angry to be a main eventer now because Punk is also in the match. He'd rather not be a main eventer. He hates this guy so much. I like that.
Even Drew McIntyre is impressed with that amount of hating on someone.
Yeah, that's some real hate. Yes, Tom.
So,
I was going to say, I thought Seth was great there because he said to Roman, he said, look, when we came in together, our goal was to get rid of the old guard. And we did that. And now you're letting in the very man that we attack. That very old guard is back. And instead of cutting him off where you could have, you let him back in. And that's the biggest cancer that you could to the company. And I thought Seth was great in this performance.
He was, and he didn't dress like an idiot either. That was a plus. Now, what about that Tiffany promo, Tom? What did you think?
It was better than what happened last week. That's for damn sure.
I guess.
She didn't get eviscerated by Charlotte on the microphone, but I don't know. This babyface Tiffany just not doing it for me.
No. Thought it was a goofy promo. She's mad Charlotte wouldn't let her talk. She's mad in storyline that the Charlotte character wouldn't let her talk. Like, that doesn't even make sense. The character is under no obligation to stand there while you talk about your daddy or whatever. I mean, they can run you over if they want. They're a character. It's a character on a show. She has a legitimate gripe, but she has no storyline gripe, and it was a storyline promo, so it was very odd. Now,
So is that different than the Big Bill Bobby Lashley deal?
Big Bill was mad at Bobby Lashley. Let me tell you. I got to say that on Collision, the Dax Harwood Wheeler Yuta match was awesome. Did you guys see that match?
I did.
Am I
No.
wrong?
I was cornering somebody in a 22-hour race.
You had plenty of time to watch this, sounds like to me.
No, I had duties every
Bro,
30
you
minutes.
told me this guy ran a 4 mile in 30 minutes. At least 30 minutes till the next race. You could have watched this match.
He was drinking.
You're just
No,
pouring
I was not.
Gatorade down his throat or something like that?
Yeah, you have to get the Camelback ready. You have to fire up the little grill, get the food ready. Once he gets in, you got to rub him down, rub his legs, get the
So anyway, this match was really
oil
great.
him up.
Had a clean finish, and they're building up what I think they're doing
Lick
the
his
New Day
toes.
thing here. They're building up that Dax and Cash are going to split, but in reality, they're going to join together for their mutual hatred of the man responsible for all of this, Adam Copeland. I like it. That was the best thing on Collision by miles, I thought. Miles. Although some people will say Tony Storm, but I guess we all have our opinions now, don't we? I mean, it was fine, but this was great, I thought.
I don't know if it was great, but it was certainly really, really good, and it continues doing something with FTR and trying to get them in the mix in the way that I did like Cash selling, when he was down, just looking up in shock at Dax and all that. It's been played up wrestling perfect, I think, so far.
Well, if you're not watching Raw right now, this is the lineup for later tonight. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley with Bianca as a special guest referee. Gunther versus Jimmy Uso. Logan Paul calls out AJ Styles. John Cena, Cody Rhodes face-to-face, which, spoiler, I'm told was very good. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston in action. They can't find a team to advertise? And Braun Breaker and Penta, although I think I know what happened, actually, from reading the chat. And Braun Breaker and Penta versus the Judgment Day, which is an interesting match. Braun Breaker and Penta against Finn and Dominic Mysterio. So there you go.
Who's
Is
the
that
tag team
Parejas in
champions?
pre-Blaze?
Who's the what?
Who's the tag? Oh, the Viking Express War Machine Raiders.
See if you can figure it out.
What team is it?
What's their team name?
The Machine Experience.
The Machine Experience. Remember when
Viking
Vince brought
Raiders?
him in as the Viking Experience?
Yes,
Because
I
they
do.
weren't allowed to be called War Machine because of apparently the fighter War Machine, I presume. I presume.
I
that
thought
the
it was just.
reason why?
I thought just the word war was outlawed.
He might, no, because remember their finish was like I think their finish had the word war in it, even when they were the Viking Experience, and they chanted war. So I think it was War Machine.
Who did the song War Machine? Like, maybe there's a rights issue on that somewhere.
Well, no, because they're called the War Machine now.
No, I don't know.
Or the Viking Raiders, they use the War
Raiders?
Machine.
I don't know. I don't know.
What is the
Doesn't
name
matter.
of their team?
I didn't know they were
The
using
War
Machine
Raiders.
again. Oh, War Raiders.
Jiminy Christmas.
So it's not War Machine, which is what I
No,
was
their
saying.
finish is the War Machine. Think.
I think they're. Ah!
Are you okay
Choked
over
up.
there?
I'm all choked up. I think their finish is the Viking Experience.
This is a start of some great Mondays coming up, everybody.
Yeah, golly. NXT, we got Shawn Spears versus Ricky Saints. God. Ava addresses the women's and NXT women's North American title picture.
Brian, did you see Ava apparently was relieved of her duties as the Evolve GM
there
already?
was too much on her plate.
She was the Evolve GM?
Yeah, for like a show.
Isn't Gabe just the Evolve GM?
No, it's what's her face? What's her name? Mr. Stone and Stevie Turner.
Ooh.
Stevie Turner is the new GM of Evolve.
I have to watch Evolve.
Yeah.
I won't.
All right.
Good for you.
Thanks for that info, Mike.
Then Wednesday, we've got Jon Moxley and Marina against Swerve and Willow in a mixed tornado tag match. Will Ospreay returns. Cope versus Claudio. You know, he should shorten his name to just Claude.
What about Cop? We just keep taking letters off.
Yeah. Cop would be so much better than Cope. How old is this guy? Does he realize what it means when someone says Cope? That's his name.
It's whatever. It's fine.
Cope
Everybody knows
versus
it's-
Claude. And then we've got Tony Storm versus Penelope Ford. And the men's and women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament brackets will be revealed. Yes. That's what we got coming up, everybody. What's so funny? All these big shows?
Mike can't cope.
I can't.
Yeah, we should call him. We do. We call him Semp. Back in a moment, Observer Live.
What an
Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful.
It's Bryan Alvarez and Big Vinny V, and we hope that you enjoy the show.
Should I do one more time? Huh? I played the entire song before realizing I had not hit record.
I figured as much.
So I had to start the entire show over again. Uh-oh. Is my internet down? My internet died.
Yeah.
All right. Stand by, everybody. Hi, everybody. We're back. And we're just gonna barrel on through, right, Vinny? What do we have on that Facebook thing? Now it says no audio. Jared, do we have audio?
I can hear you.
Honestly, what is going on?
Yeah, we just watched a movie
What
about
is
this.
up with my internet? Lost everybody again. Curry says no problems with the Big Vinny V show.
His words.
Not since the first one.
I was gonna say the very
There have
first
been
one was a
Many
disaster.
problems. Many
Yes.
problems.
We've had quite a few.
Yeah, and you know what I do? I just barrel on through.
Brian.
Barrel on through should be the name of this show. What the hell's going on this week? Like every single show, something goes terribly wrong. Today, I didn't have the music set to go at first. Then I got it set to go, but I forgot to hit record. Finally, I hit record and got the song going right. Golly. One disaster after another here. We're starting 15 minutes late. I still can't find the video, Jared. Is it up? Where is everything? Granny's joining us here today via phone. We cannot connect her audio or video. It's a blank screen. I don't know what's going on. What are we doing? Should we just quit today? I don't know what the problem is, Granny. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what's going on. We still have no video. I got a question. Where's the goddamn video at?
You gotta fire Jared.
All right, now it's up. Hello, everybody.
This is the one you told me to do last week, Undertaker plus Psycho Kid.
Okay.
Are you done laughing?
Yeah, we're done.
Yes, Granny, I apologize.
There'll be more.
Then Psycho Sid comes out with blonde curly hair. Hard to pull. Lasts a while before he gets out of it. I had to give that a 10.
A 10.
Oh, wow.
Undertaker won a match and a belt. That's a 10 on the Granny scale.
Victor is still at it more than ever this week, as far as the soaps go.
Hell of a report, Granny.
All right.
That was a 10 on the Granny soap opera report scale.
Okay, just a minute.
Jared, you're forgiven. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. I'm always astonished when the three of us make it through a show. Somehow we did it.
I'm more exhausted than I was after cornering at that race this weekend.
This felt like a mile ran 22 times. 4 miles! God. Check on your buddy when the show's over. That just cannot be healthy. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up for today. So Tom is going to be here next Monday, and I guess the following Monday. Right, Mike? Because you'll be going solo because I'm going to be coming back from Vegas. Mike cannot look that far into the future. Tom, you know you could do this show solo. It's not hard.
Yeah, I have done it solo, actually.
Observer Live?
Yes, I did it on the day that Bray Wyatt passed.
Did you really?
Was the one time I've done a solo show.
So was it like that bad, or why haven't you done it since?
I was traumatized having to cover a news story like that.
Yeah,
that
I mean, that
outing.
aspect of it sucked, but like, how was doing it? Do you want to do it more?
Or what are you doing here?
I'm offering you the opportunity to do the show every now and then if you want to. But I'm doing it here on the air, so you'll actually give me an answer quickly.
I prefer to do it with Mike.
Okay. Well, I mean, sometimes my point is, like, sometimes neither Mike nor I are available.
Who wouldn't, by the way?
And so in that case, maybe you could do it by yourself or something.
Me and Andrew Zarian sounds like a good
Yeah, you know who else is real good is old Dom.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. Dominic Jimenez.
Jimenez?
Yes. Is that right, Dom? Did I say it right?
No, Mike did. You were wrong yet again, Brian.
What? How do you said during the break it was Jimenez.
Sangre
It's
Azteca.
Jimenez.
Oh, Jimenez.
Jimenez.
Same thing.
The J's and H. You would know
You don't
that
think
if
I've heard Alvarez 75 times in my lifetime this week alone?
Alvarez?
Yeah, we're out of time.
Right.
Get out of here, everybody. We'll talk to you next time. Wrestling Observer Live.